Hey everybody, it's Wendy. I got my hair in a really tight bun today, so I'm looking kind of weird. It's been a long time since I've done one of these where we just play together. So this is my next project. And I just wanted to have a little fun and have you guys join in with me and help me paint this piece. If y'all don't know about our farmhouse products, it's Farmhouse Paint Company. This stuff, y'all, is thebomb.com. It's what you need to repaint any kind of old furniture. If you want to redo your kitchen cabinets, this is the paint you're going to want to use. I have painted my mom and dad's kitchen cabinets. I've painted my daughter's kitchen cabinets. I've painted my dining room table. I've painted tons of furniture, and I've tried lots of different chalk paint and other different furniture paints out there, and this is the one, y'all. I've been carrying it, I think now over 4 years, and I love it. I haven't found anything else that outperforms it and is as pretty. I love this stuff. It's great. And some of the features about this compared to other chalk paint, you do not have to pre-sand your piece. I do not have to pre-sand this. You do have to clean it, but you don't have to pre-sand it. And then when you get done, when you have the final product, usually takes 2 coats, sometimes only 1. And sometimes if it's a really dark piece and you're using a light color, you might have to touch up a few spots. But the cool thing at the end, I can distress it if I want to, or I can just lightly sand it, clean it with a damp rag, and I'm done. You don't have to put any wax on it. You don't have to put a top coat on it unless you just want to. You can. But it's good, it's tough, it stands up. I love it. The only time I tell people to use, we do have clear coat and we have a raincoat for outside stuff, like if you put it on your porch. But the only time I tell people to do that is if they really think it's going to be rigorous and they're going to be scrubbing it with, you know, all kinds of chemicals and stuff, then you might want to put a top coat on it. But other than that, this stuff is really tough. And once you do that light finishing sanding on it, it's smooth as butter and it feels like it's been waxed. It's beautiful. I love it. So anyway, this is my current project that I'm getting started on. I've been debating on what colors. I finally narrowed it down, but I honestly wanted to go a little bit nuts with it. But this guy is I shouldn't call it a guy because it's definitely a girl. It's got some real pretty little details and flowers, and I'm gonna actually keep the same hardware because I think it's pretty, and I'll just distress it back and it'll look gorgeous. I love to paint metal. That's the other thing, farmhouse paint. You can paint metal, glass, plastic, wood, you name it, you can paint it. As long as it doesn't have an oily or real slick surface, it's gonna stick to it. But anyway, she is so pretty and petite and cute. So this is a great little either bedside table, or maybe it may be by your couch or a chair, you know, little coffee, not a coffee table, but like a side table in a living room or something. But it's super cute. I found this at the Habitat Restore in Lenore. That's my favorite place to find really cool, neat pieces. And this is where I got that piece. It cost me 18 bucks. She's gorgeous. And because of this detail right here, this little spot right here in the middle, I was like, oh my gosh, one of my IOD molds would be really cute there. And I'd already pre-made some. Where did I set her at? I made these like, I don't know, a couple months ago or something. And I pre-made this cute little flower. Let's see if I can get it where it's not glaring so bad. There you go. But it's just a cute little flower, and it looks a lot like this flower here and this flower here. So I think I'm gonna glue it right there in that little middle part and make her even more cute. I'm thinking about doing that. And I think because I've got to glue this, I'm gonna sand this down just a little bit and glue it and tape it on there. And I really need to paint that about this dark color here before I put my other color on, because I'm definitely going to distress this piece a little bit. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But so I mix my IOD transfers and moldings and all kinds of stuff. And I also have JRV stencils. I mix it in with my furniture pieces, also with some of my art pieces as well. It's so fun to mix and match all this stuff, and it's kind of like a puzzle. You just put it together and keep adding stuff to it. You know, that's just how I work. And I really don't know what it's going to be until the very end, because if I put that on there and I start painting out and I hate it, I'll pop it off. So the first thing you need to do is clean your piece. And I have some old cleaner that I'm going to use up, but we just got this in this week. Farmhouse Paint came out with their own furniture cleaning kit, and it's all natural, which is nice. And it has 2 packets of it in here. You dissolve it with hot water. Let's see here. Powder must be dissolved in hot water. Once dissolved, allow solution to cool down so you don't burn yourself. And then for regular strength, you just mix 1 packet of the powder into a gallon of hot water. And if you want it extra strength, so say you got some really old cabinets that have like 30 years of grease on them, you might want to use both packets. And so it says you can use both packets in a gallon of hot water if you need extra strength. Otherwise, you've got 2 gallons of cleaner right here. So what I'm probably going to do is I'll probably mix me up 1 and put it in a spray bottle and then shake it up right before I use it. But today I've already got some stuff in a spray bottle, so I'm going to use that. And it comes with those 2 packets of the cleaning solution, and then you get, it looks like there's 2 little scrubby pads, which I've got right here. I'm going to use on my piece too, and that just helps clean it. And especially like really older pieces, you might not need to if it's a newer piece and you're just putting a painted color on it. But if it's a really old piece, like I know this one, I saw spots where it's got gummy stuff on it. And if you have any loose paint, you will have to sand those areas, but you don't, if it's smooth and it's good, you don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to use this. I'm going to clean this front part real quick. I also wanted to show y'all, we have a whole kit here with natural bristle. We got 2 natural bristle brushes. Say that all at one time. And then you get one of the polishing, the finishing, sanding, and then one of the distressing blocks. It's $20. It's a great value. And then we also, if you have your own brush, you can use any brush you want. I just really like Farmhouse Paint's brushes. I use those a lot, but I've used other brushes too, and you're welcome to use your own. Our brushes, this one you can tell it's been loved a lot. I've used it on many pieces. This is my favorite. This is the grip, and that's why it's called it grip. It fits right in the palm, the little nook of your thumb right there, and it's perfect. And it's got a little angle to the brush, and so it's really easy to get into little grooves and stuff. I like it a lot. And we also have the round, which I didn't bring over here, and it's good for getting into nooks and crannies. But I just want to show y'all that we do have some of these accessories. I always hate to send people to Lowe's or Home Depot or somewhere just to get cleaning stuff. They got all their paint and brushes here, and then they have to go get their cleaner somewhere else. So now we have it all, and you don't have to do that. Let's see, how much is the cleaner? It's only $5. It's $4.99, and you got 2 gallons of cleaner. So I think that's a pretty good deal. So anyway, I'm going to get started cleaning this first. This is just cleaning the piece. I clean the hardware and everything. A lot of people take their hardware off, and if I'm going to use the hardware, I just make sure it's on there tight and I leave it, because I like to come back and distress it. If you're worried about drips and stuff, you're welcome to take it off, but I just leave it. So I'm just going to scrub this really good, try to get off any of the dirt and goop off of it. I'm sure this guy has probably got, a couple years of yuckiness to it. So this is kind of abrasive, and that's the same little scrubbers in there. So it is going to help kind of smooth out any little areas that might be kind of uneven. But actually on some pieces, I like that unevenness, because when I go back to distress, it adds more character to the piece. I like that a lot. Oh, got one of my gray hairs on there. I apologize, my table's shaking a little bit, but I'm just going to clean this down really good and then wipe it down, make sure it's nice and dry. what this is all gonna, I just love the details on this thing. It's so cool. All right, so that gives you an idea. Just clean it really good. I'm actually, this part right here, I wanted to show you on the inside of this drawer. It has the grandma, you know, this is called Grandma Chic, and this is actually popular now. So it's got the little contact paper in it, and I'm gonna leave it. I think it's kind of pretty. I'm just gonna clean it really good, but they call this Grandma Chic. And people now, I've seen them painting the sides, and I might do that. We'll see. They're even using the transfers, or they're stenciling the sides of drawers. It's kind of cool because when you pull out a drawer, it still looks good. We might play with that. We'll see. Let me put this back in. Clean that top one more time. All right. Let me get a paper towel and I'll wipe this down real good, dry it off. Feels kind of gummy under here, so let me hit that one more time. It's been a long time since I've done this, and I really want to get back to doing it. This is like my stress reliever. This is what helps me keep, I don't know, from going nuts. It's not a really good term, but this is therapy for me. I love to paint. I just really love it. I do need to give you guys a disclaimer about Farmhouse Paint, and I tell this to every person that's brand new to the paint line, that the only problem you're going to have is once you, look how dirty, once you have done your first piece, you're going to want to paint everything in your house. I am not joking. It is such a transformation. It's just, and it's fun, y'all. It's just a really fun thing to do, and you can take an old piece that you think you're going to donate and get rid of because you just think it's dated. You slap a coat of Farmhouse paint on it, and voila, it looks brand new and it looks super cute. I'm not kidding you. So I'm just pre-warning you, letting you know that might happen to you. Okay, it's so pretty. It's a gorgeous French blue, and this piece kind of speaks French to me. I'm going to use my grip brush, and the grip brush is made out of synthetic bristles, and for some reason it just doesn't streak as bad as the natural bristles or any of the other kind of brands that I've used before. I'm just making sure it's not stiff. When you clean it, you have to clean your brush like as soon as you're done, because Farmhouse paint, it dries quick and it dries hard. And if it dries on your brush, it's done. You're not going to be able to reuse that brush. It dries really hard and it's over with for that brush. But if you wash it as soon as you're done, you'll be okay. Now, if I was going to like just put another coat within an hour or two, I would put this in a sealed up plastic bag, tight, and it'll be fine. And sometimes if it's going to be a little bit longer, I'll stick it in the refrigerator, but you got to make sure it's airtight, and then you don't have to wash it out until you get done with that second coat. But don't leave it overnight because it will dry out in your refrigerator. Ask me how I know. It just does. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started on this front. This again is French blue and Farmhouse paint, and I'm just going to go to town. To stain this or make this the same color as the underneath wood, so when I distress back it'll look good. And this is our new amazing wood stain, and this is like the perfect color, so that's what I'm going to be using. So I saw some yellowing starting to pop up through my paint, and we call this bleed through. So I've got my clear coat from Farmhouse Paint, and I am just sealing these spots where I see the yellowing coming through. Normally I use shellac, but I have found that clear coat from Farmhouse Paint works just as well. So as you can see, I am just hitting the spots where I see a little bit of yellowing. And honestly, like after this is dried, it'll look even more yellow, as you can tell here. So now I'm just taking my Farmhouse Paint after it has dried, and I'm covering all those yellow spots now that I have sealed with the clear coat. And it is going to be perfect. It won't be yellow anymore. I'm just starting to do some distressing with my sandpaper. This is Farmhouse Paint in French Blue. This top is Steele Graphite. I just started distressing my little handles here, and I just wanted to show you guys how I did that. So you can do it hard distress with the sanding block, and then you can also wet the finishing sponge, and it actually works as well. And sometimes if it's really hard to get the distress, I'll wet this guy and it really will take it off. But I don't know if y'all can see the difference between this is before distressing and then this is after distressing. And I really like it. So now I'm going to do this piece. We just painted here. It's almost dry. I'm going to wait a little bit longer before I distress that. But I'm going to take my sanding paper right here and bring you over a little bit closer. Oops. And we're going to distress this little hardware real quick. Anyway, that looks pretty good. It already looks very similar to the other side. I'll turn this a little bit more so y'all can see. And I think the hardware is good. So let's do some distressing. Let's see how it's going to turn out on these doors. I like to hit the detail. This one has a lot of white on it. You can wash these. Sometimes I'll put them in the sink and I'll scrub it with my brush, but I'll use this edge right here. So this is a newer one. I'm just hitting the edges where I want a little bit more distressing coming through. Can you see it right there? It's starting to come through right here. I love that. So I like to hit all the edges. Sometimes I'll hit the hardware a little bit. I'm shaking the whole table out. I'm gonna wipe this off so you can see it. Do y'all see that? Let me bring you down just a little bit further so you can see. Look at that distressing right there. Come around this edging here. This is the fun part. Anywhere there's detail, that's where I am going to hit it. Wipe this off really good so y'all can see. Do y'all see that? Look how cool that is. I don't know if you saw it or not. I love that. Look at it right here. So cool. All right, so I'm going to distress this part right here. Bring you in a little bit closer so you can really see it. So this right here is going to be beautiful. I just know. So I don't want to go too hard at first because I don't know how much is going to come off. But I'm already seeing cuteness. Oh my goodness, look at that. So I just like to hit like the raised detail part. I went a little too hard right there. It's bare wood. It'll be okay. I'm going to come back with my Asphaltum. And look how pretty. Oh my gosh. Look how pretty the little flowers. It just pops out. It just pops that detail out like nobody's business. Lightly sand in here just a little bit. just to smooth out. This is the polishing sander. The top was a little too flat for me and it had some weird spots on it, so I decided to add our Farmhouse Paint Asphaltum Glaze. I wanted it to have more of a wood grain, and you can also use this product to make your piece look aged and unique and give it a little extra oomph, and I really love how it made this top look. Okay, a painter's best friend is paintable caulk. Any cracks that you have in your piece, you go over here and you add that caulk with your finger, and then you come back with a little bit of water cleanup. Wait until it dries, and then you paint it, and your piece is going to look super professional, super fresh. Okay, so here's our before. I've named her Frenchie, and here's her after. I love her. She is so pretty. French blue with the top of Steele Graphite. It's gorgeous. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're ever in Hudson, North Carolina, please drop by and say hello, or you can shop with us online at cottage321.com. See you next time. Bye.